Hello, this is Minesh Patel with IMTF Trade. Today is May 8th, 2019. This is the evening after the market has closed. As I promised on social media, I was going to put out a video today on how to start finding bullish opportunities. Reason why is we put out this morning on social media where the major supports were for the E-mini S&P 500 futures. And I also made comments on how to start there and start looking for bullish opportunities. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly analyze the E-mini S&P 500 futures, see exactly where they ended up at the end of the day today. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show you how easily you can find these high probability bullish scenarios that are out there for any instrument and any time frame around the world. Okay, before we begin, this is our normal disclaimer to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell a particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that to your own risk. All information is owned by EII Capital Group, cannot be copied or distributed without our written permission. We are broker neutral, so we support TradeStation, eSignal, TradingView, Ninja, and so forth. For today's workshop, we're going to be using TradingView charts. So let's begin and let's go to the charts real fast, and then we'll show you exactly how to find these opportunities. So here's a chart of the E-mini S&P 500 futures, and this morning we put out a call and notice that the major support was roughly going to be roughly around about 28.73.25. That's the major support right there. The resistance, of course, is the 29.33, and notice that's in red. We got to our support here. Notice that for 2 days now we're kind of holding this level here, and today we kind of got to that level 2 there, and we're kind of holding it there. Okay, so this is a major support here. If it breaks that one, this is the next one here, and you could probably easily see a lot of this stuff on the weekly time frame. So let's zoom out on the weekly, and you could kind of see exactly where we're at here. So the key thing here is that we maintain this support here by the end of the week. During the week, we could have drawdown. We could come down here to that next support and so forth. But by the end of the week, we have to sit there and be above this support or this support here in order for the markets to have a high probability to retest that high and to keep on continuing to go up. Okay, so it's very critical to see exactly where we end up by the Friday at market close to see exactly what's going to happen for next week for forecasting. Okay, so here we got to the first support here. Now what does that mean? How do you know it's going to be a high probability to get to the next support? You really don't. So what you really have to do is you have to look on the lower time frames, because if it's going to stop and reverse, it's going to start on the lower time frames. We typically go to a 30-minute time frame, and the reason why is if it's going to start trending, it's got to start in the 30-minute and then progress going up. Okay, and you could see here it got the support here. It's kind of had a bearish setup here, kind of volatility spike, but didn't really break. It got to our breakout level here, but the reward was not good because the pivot low was right there. So the risk reward was not good for us to take that bearish trade at all. We have another bearish setup now. So it's interesting here. We got to that support here. We have not got a confirmation at all. What is the confirmation? We are looking for a green shaded area, which basically designates that there's a bullish setup here. We have yet to get the bullish setup at all. So right now we're just waiting patiently for that bullish setup to occur. As soon as we get the 30-minute bullish setup to occur, then we'll start looking individual stocks to see which ones are still bullish and have a high probability of going up. And I'm going to show you exactly how to find those right now. But as long as we don't get that bullish green setup, we still have a high probability of retesting the support here and breaking it, and also going down to the next support here. So that's very critical for you guys to see that too. And you could kind of see, just looking at the price action here, that there's a minor support resistance right here. So we have this big consolidation pattern, and then what's happened is the downward movement's gone down. We've now entered this little small consolidation pattern here, and until we break that resistance, we're not going to get that bullish setup at all to sit there and go to retest this resistance and possibly try to break it to keep on making new highs. Okay. If we look at seasonality that we provide for free at alerttrades.com, then here's the E-mini for May. And you could see it's got an 84% probability of being bullish. The last couple of years, in fact, last 6 years, it's been bullish here. However, Notice one thing. The average move is 2.6% bullish. However, it does go for a 1.5% drawdown. That means your reward risk is about 1 to 1. And you'll notice this SIV value is below 10. That means it's not a good, high probability trending month at all. That means very caution. You have to be very cautious. Reason why is you could go for drawdown before it actually sits there and goes bullish. So let's look at this and see exactly what percentage this thing has moved since the beginning of this month. So let me shrink down this chart here. Actually, let's just go to the daily time frame and we could see exactly what we've been looking at as far as drawdown is concerned here. So let's just quickly pull up our tool here. Trend tool, we're going to find where May 1st opened up, which was right here. And you could see it's gone down about 3% down already. So we kind of, if you look at the seasonality here, the average movement down is about 1.5%. You've seen some drawdowns too and so forth. So we've kind of had a big drawdown this month here, more than normal, which is not good at all. So if it seems like it's going to push up, it's got a high probability of push up, not the beginning of this month, but more towards the end of the month going forward there. So if that's the case, then we do have a high probability of probably to retest that low here and possibly come here before we start making a move to go upwards too. Okay, so now let's go and show you exactly how to find bullish stocks with high probability. So here's our website, imtftrade.com. If you need to get a hold of us, here's our phone number and email here. First thing you need to do is log in. If you haven't logged in, it's free to register. And believe it or not, you get a lot of things for free. And I'll show you that in just a moment. So I'm going to log in as a free account. This is what you get for free. And of course, with subscription services, you get a lot more tools. But there's no need to even talk about those tools if you can't even make money off the free product. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the scanner. So go to products, go to scanner. And I'll pull up our scanner in here. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is going to reset because I do a lot of presentations. So reset the values there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the instruments I'm looking for. If I go to General tab, I could look at currencies, futures, and then we have individual stocks broken down. So you could choose the S&P 500. So I'm going to choose the S&P 500. Click on it once. Then I'm going to hold down the control key and click on NASDAQ 100. And I could keep on adding more. So Dow 32. Okay. Once I've done that, now what we're going to do is we want to look for high probability bullish setups. So the key thing is what time frame to choose. If you sit there and be more aggressive, then you're going to look for bullish setups on a 30-minute. If you're more conservative, then what you're going to do is you're going to go down to a 60-minute and start looking for bullish setups. So I'm going to come here to the 60-minute. Okay. And I'm going to sit there and come on the strategy. I'm going to choose green, bullish green setup right there. Okay, that pulls up a whole bunch of instruments. You can see there's 10 rows and there's 4. That's 40 instruments right there. Now, out of the whole, this is probably about a gamma of probably about 700 to 800 instruments. You only have 40, so that's not a lot of bullish setups, believe it or not, on the higher time on the instruments at all. Okay, and you can see for the NASDAQ, they only have this many here. For the Dow, there's only 2. Okay, so what you could do is if you want to filter that out, then you look for dual setups. The ones when you have a dual bullish setups, the same color, same direction, you have a higher probability. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to choose bullish here. Okay, and now what happens is you have a bullish setup here. And this will filter in just a moment. So these are the high probability opportunities that are available now. Okay. Here's our first one here. This is UNH. The breakout dots are right here. They're blue. Let me increase the size so you can see them better. This is our IMTF indicator that basically tells you when the bullish setups are and where the entries are. For TradingView, believe it or not, it's only $150 a year. So it's a very cheap, if you look at it, for a tool that gives you so much institutional power that at the hands of retail people. So either way, there's your breakout entry there. If you're going to do options, then what you're going to do is you're just going to put a price alert there, wait for price to kind of get there, and then you can evaluate the Greeks and put the trade on. So what you're going to do is going to click here, click alert, boom. Now I'm set up for this trade here. So if the markets are ready to go up, this is going to be triggered here, and I'm basically going to know that this setup here is ready to go. Let's go look at the. Here is QRVO. This is the other one. Just going to move my alert up to the breakouts here. Why aren't we looking at pullbacks? You could look at pullbacks here in these green shaded areas at the crosses. However, market still has potential to go down, so you don't want to look at pullbacks at all because it makes the pullback trades low probability. You want to look at breakouts. If the market breaks up above, then it triggers these blue dots because the stocks will go up themselves. And then let's see, the last one was MMC. So we're going to look at MMC. Okay. And we're going to pull an alert here. I'm just waiting for the chart to pull up. Go ahead and click this, make this alert while it's pulling up the data. Create here. And I'm just going to put this at the blue dots right there. And those are breakouts. So these are the high probability instruments right now that have a dual bullish setup there. Okay. Now, this is one approach there, a dual approach. Another one is where I'm going to just turn off this 240 minute. And I'm going to go back to the 60. And the 60 minute has a couple of instruments here. What I'm going to do is I only want to take bullish breakout trades where basically we know the weekly is still intact. Not the daily, but the weekly. So I'm going to come over here to the weekly. Okay. And I'm going to sit there and filter here. Notice one thing. This is bearish. So this is telling me that the higher time frame is bearish. So what we're going to do is we're going to filter this strategy here by clicking on the column. And it's going to filter out all this stuff in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to about 30 rows. If you have a subscription, you could do more filtering on this. Since this is a free version and this is not what we're looking for. And what you're looking for is for a trend in a weekly time frame, you want to look for a number 5 bullish. So you could see right now McDonald's is bullish and also MMC is bullish here. So on the weekly time frame, they're bullish. So if I come here to the weekly time frame from MMC, you could see that basically it is bullish trending here. So even though the markets have gone down, MMC still has not been affected that much at all, and it's still bullish trending here. Okay. Then the next one was McDonald's. So this doesn't have a bullish setup on a 240 minute, a 4 hour. However, the weekly is still bullish, and that means, and there's a 60 minute potential trade for a breakout. So what we could do is we're going to come down to a 1 hour. I'll just click on auto here. And what we'll do is we'll put an alert, delete this reward risk tool, and we'll sit there and put an alert here at the blue dots right there. Okay. And boom, we're ready to go. Okay. So that is basically everything right there that you need to move forward with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. Let me give you my information. So here's our information here. If you guys have any questions, you could contact us here. Also, I've given you 2 different ways how you could take the free scanner at IMTF Trade and find high probability bullish setups very easily for any market out there. We did it for the US stock market, but you could do it for currencies. You could do it for futures. You could do it for pretty much Australian stocks, China stocks, European stocks, and so forth. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us here. Thank you and have a good day.